we're going to do a stress management recap from last week. We know that stress management happens in 5 steps, or at least the 5 steps that I'm teaching. It's known to be 3, which is just appraisal, coping, and adapting, but I added the pause and react, or pause, react, respond, and then the anti-fragility. And so again, the appraisal is anytime we have a stimulus, right, we can't help but to give attention to it, appraise what we think about it, how we feel, and then we have an opportunity to pause, right, and decide what do we want. Instead of just going into autopilot and reacting, we can respond. What does the situation need? What does the other person need? What's my desired result, end result, right? Long-term goals, you can add it in. Coping is just one of those things that we want to focus on, not just how we're thinking about the situation, but our emotions behind what we're experiencing and what we do afterwards, right? Which leads into the adapting. We want to make sure that all of our behavior is adaptive and not maladaptive. We live in a society where you will have to practice maladaptive coping, right? But you want to make sure it's short term. You want to, at the end, by the end of the day, make sure that you are coping adaptively. And then any situation that is causing stress, you want it to build anti-fragility. How can this situation make me quicker, stronger, faster, wiser, better because I experienced it, right? We don't want anything to go to waste, and nothing has to be wasted, right? Like nothing, really, technically. Even your worst scenarios can bring out the best version of yourself. So what is stress management? 1 word, 2 words, what do you think? From what you learned last week, what would you say stress management is?
Life saving.
Okay.
Real talk.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sorry. No, I'm not really gonna. I'm thinking and I don't have an answer right now. Really, honestly, it came to my head. What is? I'm sorry.
What is stress management?
Stress management?
In 1 or 2 words.
Maintaining.
Okay, I like that. That's really good.
Dealing.
Okay.
Flexibility.
Mm-hmm. All of the words you're given are active words, right? So stress management is active. It could be proactive, it could be preventative, but you're doing something, right? Now, again, we talk about stimulus. I want to remind you, when I use the word stimulus, I want you to think about it in segments. Segments, it's an important idea, right? So if I start eating and I stop eating and go use the bathroom, I'm in a different segment. If I start a new task, I'm in a different segment, right? If I am in the middle of something and something catches my attention in the back, I'm in a new segment, right? So we have to think about stimulus as how is it shifting my attention and awareness, right? And when you think about it that way, it's easier for you to say, maybe this shouldn't get my attention or awareness. Maybe this isn't beneficial to me. Maybe I should ignore this and deny that. Maybe I should give more of my time and attention to this thing instead of that, right? Same thing with anti-fragility. We know a lot of people, and I bet you know more people who have aged and did not mature. Right? That's the majority of people, right? We age, we get older. I know when I was a young kid, I just assumed that all adults or elders had wisdom. We know that's not true, right? Because you can experience things in life, but if you're not processing it and thinking about how it can make you better, it actually can deplete your essence. It can make you worse, right? So we want to make sure that everything that we are experiencing is building us, helping us grow. Same thing with our protective factors, the stress buffers. We want to build these. These are our resources, right? So you want to make sure that you have the right mindset, you have the right friends, skills and abilities, you have the resources that you need, like money, like environment. You want to spend your time creating as much buffers against stress as you possibly can, right? Because that's the only way that you have what it takes to defend yourself, or not really defend yourself, but be aware enough when a stressor is impacting you so that you can grow from it. And again, the coping and adapting, we're going to talk a lot about that today because that's what wellness is all about.